Your search for meaning ends with this video. Whether you are someone who wanted something and worked hard for it but failed repeatedly, or you are someone who is doing okay financially, achieved what society wanted you to achieve, but the work you are doing is just meaningless, or you are a family guy stuck with responsibilities but want to discover your own passion besides your work and family. Or you are just a go with the flow guy, never had a passion, no idea how to navigate your future. Or even you are a person who loved someone passionately but got heartbroken, now directionless. You are either one of them or multiple of them combined. And this type of disillusionment will start producing questions in your mind like,
what is this garbage?
what is the meaning of life? What is this all for? Why I am here? Why I have to suffer? And if we die, why should I do anything at all? A person who has lost meaning and now feeling emptiness, and to survive caught up in unhealthy addictions. So where do we find the truth about meaning of life? Religion maybe works for some people, but not for me.
What do you say? Science?
Okay, so science. Yeah, because everything is examined and tested. So what does science say about meaning of life and what to do in our future? Science only explains that life is just mixing of simple inorganic molecules together by chance, and its main purpose is to just get energy, survive and reproduce. So let's do it. Okay, but now what? Still like some 70 years left?
Just keep reproducing, bro.
Is that all we here for?
Yes.
Isn't there any deeper purpose to our lives?
No, man.
When we humans ask for why we here, we are asking for a purpose in the future. But when science looks at it, it looks for a cause in the past and only describes our functionality. But how could you live for something that has already happened? You can only live fully when you are striving for something. Wake up to something that excites you for your future. But when we look at science and the size of this universe and the billion years it's going to last even after our death, there seems to have no meaning to our lives. And this exploration can only lead us to one path, that is nihilism, where we simply do nothing because nothing actually matters. But you observe some people, they are acting differently. Despite knowing these truths, how come for some people every day is exciting and they want to wake up early, they want to go for a run, eat healthy, and even overwork. They are like highly motivated and disciplined, consistent, they never procrastinate. And here some of us who are struggling to wake up from our bed and don't even want to think about working, addicted to all kinds of stuff, trying hard to push ourselves by watching motivational videos and fire up for a little while but barely moving anywhere or even doing anything. This phase is very common than we think, and it is not unique. This happens with everybody. I personally was in this phase for almost like 3 times.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
And it's very hard to handle if you don't have good people around you and a right compass to move forward. You can get caught up in heavy emotions like hopelessness and meaninglessness repeatedly, and those repeated emotions can lead you to only one place, which I called circumstantial depression. I'm whispering this because my mom catches keywords like this very quickly.
I don't believe in depression.
The keyword here I used is circumstantial depression. Depression because of life's circumstances and not due to any chemical imbalance in your brain or even your genetics. Most people, if you notice, they are sad and depressed not because they have any mental illness, but they actually have bad life circumstances. And when they go to the doctors only give them pills which only temporarily release chemicals in their brain, and therapist only tries to teach them self-acceptance, which is good, but like it's very temporary solution. Both of these paths only treat their symptoms and not the actual root cause. They are often told to find some contentment, a sense of
Inner peace
or satisfaction that comes from accepting the present moment, which is great advice, no doubt, but it has its limitations. For example, if you are sad because you don't have a life partner, or struggling to get a job, or you have toxic abusive friends, parents or relatives, you are told to find contentment and accept your life as it is, to be single and proud, to be jobless and be okay with it, or to understand toxic abusive people and how their upbringing environment shaped them. This way you move from bad circumstances to contentment. Nice, this is great, this doesn't bother me now. I am content. But for a while, because the actual problem isn't solved. you're still jobless, you are still would like a partner in your life, and you would still like to be in a safe environment with supportive people despite your contentment. But you simply try to accept your life as it is, and over time nothing changes, and your bad circumstances are like, hey dude, what's up? I'm level 2 now. Now you are old and single. Now you are jobless for like more than a year. Now you are still surrounded with toxic people. But like contentment, right? So you try to be content again, and the bad circumstances level up again repeatedly, and nothing changes. And this keeps repeating again and again. Contentment is great. You should accept yourself wherever you are. You need to be content wherever you are. Otherwise, all the negative emotions don't let you move forward. But just like sadness, happiness is also often circumstantial. Happiness can be created or triggered by achieving something, or acquiring something, or even experiencing something positive like getting a job, finding a loving partner, or being surrounded by supportive people. So yes, we need both contentment and making changes in the right direction. But what about motivation and discipline? Like, how do people do that, and why I don't want to? It's quite simple. You're not motivated because you have nowhere to go, nothing to be motivated for. You're not feeling excited because you haven't yet discovered something truly exciting. You're not overworking because you simply haven't found something that you want to be working hard for. The things that are glorified on social media don't really motivate you from the inside. They just create a feeling of lack. If they were truly meaningful to you, you would never need any motivational video ever again. This video is about finding something or somewhere meaningful to go towards, even you are 70 or 70. Making yourself motivated and disciplined is not relevant right now. That comes later.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You have to find and fix your direction first. Understand this very carefully. You often look at self-help gurus or the top class athletes and think, wow, how disciplined they are. Wow, how much self-control they have over their mind. How much control they have what they eat and when they sleep. And how they work and practice for hours. So you compare them with yourself and think, I'm not even capable of that performance. I'm not like them. They are like built different. But
Wait.
they are not superhumans. The only difference between you and the high performing person is they love what they do, and they do what they're good at. They have purpose. They have the desire to master their work and the skills it needs. And since they love their work, they don't get caught up in failures and success. Even if they win, they stay curious about how to make the next game even better, which leads to an upward spiral for them to grow towards mastery. For athletes, in order for them to play good, it demands them hours of practice. It demands healthy body and healthy eating. They need to have self-control. When you have a strong purpose, the habits that you are worried about right now becomes way easier to deal with. But when you are just trying to fix your life without any purpose, it doesn't really work. When you have clear direction and supportive environment, these unhealthy habits don't bother as much because those habits automatically get corrected by your subconscious mind in order to achieve our true desires. Remember the time your mom used to hide snacks somewhere harder for you to reach, but the desire was so strong that you are able to do the impossible. No obstacle or failure could stop you. Remember the times you truly wanted something or was deeply excited about something. You didn't needed any motivation or energy. But when there is nothing excited on your horizon, why will you feel motivated? Without a compelling future, delaying tasks becomes very easy. After all, what's the rush? Where is the urgency? Why will you even feel the urgency? But when humans want something, they don't need any external motivation. I mean, just look at human mind with just sticks and stones. Now we are defying nature. It's clear that if we human want something and have enough resources, we can do anything we can put our mind to. But it should not just be a want, it should be a burning desire. So is this about finding what you truly want? Yes. But you will say, I don't want to do anything.
I'm trained for nothing!
I just want to sit in my bed and scroll on social media, eat and sleep. That's what I'm good at. But is it true? Is it making you more energetic, more motivated? Is it making you excited to wake up in the morning? Or is it just making you more sad and more empty from the inside, creating more resentment towards yourself instead of fulfilling you, right? So what? So now I have to find a glorious purpose. Many people feel compelled to believe that they need a grand, heroic purpose in life. Something like saving humanity, even at the cost of their own lives. That is why we have so many superhero movies. However, at their core, Most people just deeply desire to be highly valued by others and to be remembered long after they are gone. Well, good news is that we don't have to die for that. We just have to find something that is meaningful to us. In almost every industry, only very few people have what everybody calls success. People who actually love their work and get better and better at what they do, and most of the time earn better than everybody else. And the rest of the population is just working because they have to. They are never excited or have the energy to do their own work, wasting most of their lifetime in doing what they don't even care about. They ignore the obvious fact that
one life, baby.
So how do people find meaningful work? But before that, it is really important to know what others seem to be doing wrong, which leads them to have such meaningless lives. In the book Wanting, Luke Burgess describes a concept called mimetic desires. We humans are natural copycats. Animals copy sounds and gestures, but we humans copy everything. Social norms, career paths, material possessions, retirement plans, and even romantic ideals. Most of our desires aren't actually ours. We look at others wanting something and without a conscious thought, think, oh, it must be valuable and I need that too. The book mentions how we mimic desires mainly from 5 sources. First is ads and social media, which constantly glorifies certain lifestyles and luxury items. Second is our social environment, where we work with people with same goals and status, which leads to people to keep up with another status game. 3. Our close relationships, our families, relatives, or friends. We try to copy their desires. 4. Role models we look up to. We try to copy their lives and their inspirations. 5. Cultural or historical icons. So basically, we learn what to want by watching others. Also, a lot of our goals come from societal shoulds. You should have a 6-figure job. You should own a house and marry before 30. You should have a sports car and those luxury items. But how often do we stop and ask ourselves, do I really want this, or do I want other people to see me having it? Many successful people are still miserable despite making millions.
Am I happy? I don't know. Never really thought about it. Don't really care about it. Because all I really cared about was when I looked in that fucking mirror, I saw a piece of shit.
This is probably one of the heaviest hammer blows, I think. You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy.
Turns out there is more to life than just pleasure and power. It's called meaning. When people lose their sense of meaning, life presents them with 3 choices. 3 different paths they can choose to live. In 2015, fresh out of high school, I had to choose my career path. With handful of knowledge, there was no compass, no map, no guide, just the weight of life-changing decision. And so I did what everybody else do. I let others choose my path. My parents, proud of my ability to score well without studying, steered me towards a path they thought was for a bright mind like me. But all of my friends took a different path, and suddenly my classroom had become very empty and colorless. I stopped paying attention in my class. I found myself sneaking into my friends' lectures instead of attending my own lectures, and the will to study also disappeared. After all, college wasn't about learning, it was being with my friends, and I had no clue what was waiting for me at the end of my decisions. 2 years later, those effortless grades suddenly crumbled into a major academic failure. For someone who's labeled as smart kid, this wasn't just a failure, it was death of my identity. My ego shattered, my parents were shocked, angry and ashamed. People around me were shaming me, my thoughts were haunting me. Each morning brought heavier darkness than the last. Every week made me cry. Pain, disappointment, shame drowned me, and my mind convinced me that there is no one that could understand me. I gravitated towards what seemed like the only path, the path most men choose when they are defeated. Escape. Stood at the edge of giving up. My mind said, end it all, I can't do this anymore. I created my plan and I thought I was ready. I mentally prepared myself. I told my friend, I'm thinking about ending it all. But he replied with a profound message. He said, if you do it, you are gay. Wait, that's not happened. In reality, in that moment, something flipped in me. I don't know if it was God, universe, or just dumb luck. I suddenly woke up and pulled myself together. In that crucial moment, I stepped outside myself, viewing my life separated from the emotional damage. And there, in that chaos, I realized this was just a chapter. This is not my whole story. I didn't wanted an escape. I wanted a better life. In order to recover from that phase, I pushed myself harder than ever before. My grades improved and life stabilized. I thought I learned the lesson that work hard and push through and you will get at a better place. It wasn't a bad advice, but it wasn't a full solution either. The core issue was that I lived a life dictated by other people's decisions and opinions. I never stopped and asked myself,
What are you passionate about? What do you want?
by 2023, life seemed fine. I had great friends. I also started dating. I was surrounded by people who supported me, uplifted me, and built my confidence. But soon, the relationship didn't work out. The friends became distant, and multiple bad events happened one after another, and the emotions overloaded my mind again. The darkness returned again. But this time, no amount of pushing harder was working at all, because I had no direction to go towards. I was drained and lost, so I chose option 2, most easy and common path most people always choose: hedonism. Hedonism simply means maximum pleasure. Unending pursuit of pleasure, the pursuit of pleasure as highest good, chasing easy dopamine and avoiding any kind of pain or discomfort, spending most of your time in things like parties, entertainment, alcohol, drugs, social media scrolling, gambling, shopping, and other addictions, drowning in things like this that gives you temporary dopamine rush and left you with emptiness as soon as you stop doing them. For me, I started spending hours on my phone, scrolling 10 hours a day, wasting many months. But I tried revisiting things I used to love, like traveling, sketching, sports, but nothing really worked for me. Everything just felt dull and black and white. I dove into motivational content, searching for that drive and moment once I had. The internet is filled with advices like,
then pick something.
So I picked something. I chose the dream, sold everywhere online, in various different forms. Make money, gain respect, and get rich fast. I threw myself into it. I started studying 6 hours a day, more than I ever did in my whole life. I applied to more than 500 jobs, and a year later, I got a job. But the reality hit me, because I wasn't excited at all. Something that I worked hard for more than a year, but when I finally got it, I wasn't really excited. I was not even feeling any sense of relief. Instead, I couldn't sleep at that night. I was just thinking, I have to do this for my whole life. Starting tomorrow, I had to work for someone more than 40 years of my life. There was no good feeling about it. And then the uncomfortable question came in my mind. Would I do this if money wasn't involved? And the answer was, I realized I hated the actual work, but I was trapped by the sunk cost fallacy. Too much time, money, and energy was invested to quit at that point, ignoring the growing voice inside my head that was saying, I don't even want to do this. So I eventually convinced myself this job that I got is not even good enough. So I declined that job that I worked hard for. I started ignoring the calls from potential employers while still applying for hundreds of jobs. There was two parts inside my head. One was stuck in, we have to do this. We spent a lot of money and time into this. Just get the job because you are already behind others. And the second mind was saying, I don't want this job. I don't like the work. I want to do something that I love. And with this conflict in my mind, I started putting half-ass efforts. The only thing that was driving me was the money and status and parents' validation, not the actual process of the work. And when the recession hit and the salaries plummeted, my paper-thin motivation vanished completely. I realized the truth. Coming from a stable middle-class family, money or any material wealth without a true purpose behind the grind, I could never sustain it. But as time slipped away without any progress, sadness and disappointment and even self-directed anger and hopelessness crept in. And with loss of hope, I slipped into circumstantial depression again. And the existential questions start to haunt my mind. What I really want to do? What's the point of all this suffering? Will anything I do matter in the end? Everything turns into dust eventually, so why bother doing anything at all? What is the meaning of my tiny life? I began my journey to find some answers in philosophy. Famous German philosopher.
Wake up, Nietzsche.
In his book called Thus Spoke Zarathustra, introduced a concept called Overman, symbolizing a gigachad, someone who moves beyond good and evil, creates their own values by embracing all aspects of existence, including joy and suffering. Someone who creates meaning through creative expression, self-improvement. In essence, he encouraged individuals to become who they are through self-discovery. Then in 19-something came a French philosopher called Albert Camus, father of his child absurdism. His key idea was life is absurd. Neither humanity nor the universe is necessarily absurd on its own, but rather their relationship is absurd. Humans seek meaning while universe says, "Oh, fuck you. But by accepting this absurdity, everyone is free to create their own meaning through whatever they enjoy, whether it's music, art, relationship, or even experiences. Another French philosopher came in clutch. Jean-Paul Sartre proposed the idea that we are not born with a predefined purpose. Instead, we create our own purpose through choices and the actions we take. He emphasized the responsibility of each individual to define their own meaning. So what are the sources from which we can find meaning? Meaning can be found in a close relationship, connecting with strangers, sharing thoughts, having deep friendships, experiencing beauty and love, solving problems, saving lives, and supporting a cause that matters more than yourself. Creating something to live and die for, whether it's art, a business, a relationship, a child, reputation, or even your belief in something, create life worth living. In the book Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl explains how people can find meaning even through their suffering by reframing their struggles as essential parts of their journey. Suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it becomes a part of your character arc. Looking back at my life, I could have easily seen my journey as a series of failures, but perspective is a powerful lens. What once looked like suffering now has become a map of personal growth. Upon self-reflection, I realized that my darkest times were my greatest teachers. Uncertainty taught me adaptation. Pushing myself through endless effort, even without any motivation, revealed the infinite resilience that I had. Being in bad relationships taught me what kind of relationship I should look for. Even chasing unfulfilling goals revealed me what I truly wanted. Every superhero story consists of a dark time. Spider-Man when Peter Parker loses his uncle. Batman when young Bruce Wayne loses both his parents. Iron Man when purposeless Tony is captured by a group of terrorists. This suffering changes their life's course, shapes them into they eventually become. Without that suffering, the story loses its greatness. Those dark times would have easily broken them. Instead, they found meaning in their suffering, chose a path that brought them greater fulfillment. But what is fulfillment and how it is different from hedonism or pleasure? Aren't they both just going to make me feel good and release dopamine in my brain? Yes, but they are different, and it's very important that we know the difference between them. Pleasure is short-lived. Instant gratification that we get from external stimuli, material experiences such as eating delicious food, watching TV, receiving praise, buying stuff, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, playing games, partying, and fulfillment on the other hand is long lasting and it builds over time. It's tied to progress and meaningful effort, and it can be achieved by pursuing meaningful goals that are aligned with your core values, which needs discipline and enduring discomfort and delaying instant gratification. But wait, why would I want to face discomfort and do hard stuff? Isn't it easier to just do the things that will make me feel good instantly? Why would I do hard things to feel good? Because pleasure is fleeting and short-lived. It often triggers hedonic adaptation, which is your brain quickly adapting to dopaminergic experiences. Like eating same flavor of ice cream multiple times gets boring after a while. It does not create the same feeling. So you constantly have to chase something to feel the same high again and again. This never-ending chase can create feeling of emptiness, leaving void that demands more and more stimulation. You post to yourself on social media and see likes and comments on your posts. It feels good temporarily. Fast forward a few days, those same likes that once lit up your brain, they are just numbers now. Or watching brain rot reels delivers a quick dopamine hit, but the moment you put down your phone, that high is gone, leaving you feeling emptier than before. Entertains you in the moment, but when you stop watching, you stop feeling good. On the other hand, fulfillment is like growing a garden, effortful and requires patience, but deeply satisfying when it blossoms. The hard parts of fulfillment are not barriers, they are proof that you are doing something that matters. Fulfillment answers bigger questions like like why we live and what gives life purpose. Pleasure does not answer these type of questions. And about the dopamine release in both cases, pleasure triggers dopamine in short bursts. It activates the brain's reward system, which is quick and addictive and often leads to compulsive behaviors. But for fulfillment, which builds over time and deepens your sense of contentment, hence produce a steadier, more sustained dopamine release. The process of working toward meaningful goal or contributing to others create a lasting sense of satisfaction. Activities tied to fulfillment also engage areas related to memory and meaning. For example, helping someone or improving a skill creates a sense of pride and belonging that lingers even after the act. Fulfillment often meets deeper human needs like connection, purpose, and growth. When you accomplish something after putting in consistent effort, your brain doesn't just get quick dopamine hit. You get a sense of competence and mastery, both critical for long-term happiness. Here, pain does not negate fulfillment. It enhances it. When you endure hardship for something meaningful, the value of the achievements becomes even bigger and it even improves your self-worth. This is why people willingly face challenges. Unlike pleasure, fulfillment involves reflecting on your own journey, which strengthens its emotional impact. Pleasure seeks to feel good, while fulfillment seeks to be and do good. A writer who loves writing will keep writing, even if their book doesn't get published. Think of a scientist who dedicate their whole lives to the research that may not yield results within their lifetime. Still they persist because the work itself matters to them. Life becomes blissful when you are doing something that matters to you. But people often think about death and conclude that does it even matter because whatever I do will cease to exist. Everyone that I know, everything that I do will disappear in few days or in few years after my death, and new people are going to born and they are going through the same cycle. And in the end, universe going to exist billion years even after my death. How does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, it don't need to, because if billion years don't give a fuck about you, why should you give a fuck about those billion years? How does those years even matter? When you are going to die, your death only going to matter to your loved ones, not even to you. You are going to handle your death just like everyone else. You shouldn't give death more weight than it has. It is only the reminder that you should do the things that really matter to you as soon as possible. Death is like an urgency reminder. It is not some problem that you should try your life solving. You are living now, and if it's not what you want, then the living is the ultimate problem that you should be solving. Why do you listen to music? Like, how does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Because it feels good? Okay, but why do you wanna feel good? Feeling good also doesn't matter in grand scheme of things. You are going to die, right? Why do you love watching beautiful sunsets? Why do you help someone? Why do you eat? How all of this is meaningful if we die? What I am trying to say is the future doesn't diminish the value of the present. If you consider billion years, nothing really matters. But billion years doesn't matter to us either. And that's where time frame comes into play. A beautiful sunset or helping someone matters in the moment, whether or not it lasts forever. Like why a mother should take care of her child if it's going to die someday. Those moments and those actions matters right now. That is why time frame is important. So choose a time frame that will make your goal meaningful. So what goal is meaningful for you in next 50 years or next 10 years? Sometimes you don't have an answer, but that's okay. Still ask yourself, what goal is meaningful for me in next 5 years or next 2 years? Maybe you don't know. Keep asking what goal is meaningful for me in next 6 months or next week or today, or what goal is meaningful for me now. But wait, why do I need a purpose or meaning in the first place? I mean, as a kid, I was happy without this purpose and meaning and all of these goals. Do I even need these things? Yes, you do. As a child, our lives were very simple. We needed only emotional security from our caregivers, the joy of exploring our surroundings, and connection with friends. We experienced the world with wonder, finding magic in small moments like watching butterflies or listening to stories. We were naturally authentic, express ourselves without judgment, and act on instinct rather than seeking any kind of reward. We didn't compare ourselves with others or worry about consequences. Our lives were structured in a way we automatically acted upon what we valued. But as adults, life became complicated. We abandoned play and curiosity, dismissing them as unproductive or childish. Society pressured us to chase success and wealth instead of joy and contentment, and so many people prioritized achievements over contentment, leading to unhappiness despite material comfort. Also, with constant comparisons, we as a society suck authenticity out of every one of us. Life challenges like failures, rejections, and trauma create self-doubt in us as we grow older. We ruminate in our past and constantly worry about our future, questioning life's meaning and our limited time. The challenge of adulthood isn't that these small things are no longer enough. It's that we forget how to appreciate them. True fulfillment comes from reconnecting with childhood's simple joys and being ourselves without trying to prove our worth to others. You don't need to prove your worth to universe or God or your parents or friends or even to your partner. Your life isn't a performance for others to judge. The only person you need to impress is the one who greets you in the mirror each morning. Make it a story worth telling, not because others will applaud, but because it rings true to your heart's deepest calling. This nihilistic phase you are in is not unique to you. Almost every person goes through this phase at least once in their lifetime, which either can break them or make them. Like, for example, actor Jim Carrey, who experienced a deep sense of nihilism, particularly after achieving fame and wealth. He became disillusioned with Hollywood and questioned the meaning of life, suffering from depression, but eventually turned to spiritual exploration. He became a vocal advocate for mindfulness, personal authenticity, and the importance of inner peace. Or author J.K. Rowling, who experienced a period of severe depression in her 20s, struggling with feelings of worthlessness and contemplating suicide. Her struggles with depression influenced the creation of the Harry Potter series, where themes of love, choice, and the battle between good and evil provides a deep sense of meaning. Robert Downey Jr., faced with addiction, legal troubles, and a sense of deep personal loss, after hitting rock bottom, Downey underwent significant self-reflection, seeking rehabilitation and adopting a healthier lifestyle. His later career symbolized a redemptive journey and personal transformation. Muhammad Ali struggled with feelings of disappointment. During various points in his life, he faced a loss of identity and his place in the world. Still, he became one of the greatest heavyweight boxers and a vocal advocate for civil rights and racial equality. All of these people went through very dark times in their lives, whether be it depression, suicidality, or midlife crisis. They still managed to look within and envision a path forward using their strengths. They listened to their inner callings and inner strengths instead of trying to be what others wanted them to be. Just imagine if Einstein had decided to become boxer and Muhammad Ali decided to be an theoretical physicist. Keep this in mind. Having a sense of purpose and meaning, it does not solve every problem in your life. Life or career does not become easy. You're still going to live with self-doubt and uncertainty. You're still going to wake up cranky some mornings, but you will have a why to your self-improvement. There are many other people who went through this phase of meaninglessness, but after isolation and self-reflection, really found what is important and valuable in their life, lived accordingly. When people don't align their work or life with their values, often feel drained, unfulfilled, and stuck in a life of frustration. This happens because they are spending energy on tasks that don't resonate with what truly matters to them. And over time, this disconnect can lead to burnout, low motivation, and sense of emptiness. One of the top regrets of the people who are on their deathbeds is not living true to themselves. Many people regret living a life based on other people's expectations or to get some validation from others instead of pursuing their own dreams. That is why you should always move your life in the direction towards what you give a fuck about. Living life by your highest values will make you more resilient, internally motivated. You will make more clear decisions and will become more authentic, more focused, more energetic, more courageous in taking risks, and bunch of other things. Okay, great, but like, how do I know my values and create my own meaning? Know thyself. self-knowledge, self-inquiry, understanding yourself, self-awareness, self-authoring, self-discovery, whatever you wanna call it. I always heard of these terms like find your values and know yourself, but no one ever told me how exactly to do that. So upon some digging, I understood how. First, we need to understand the difference between desires and values that are imposed by society on you and those which are emerging from within. Values go in society from those who have the most power to those who have the least. People copy values from other people, but other people's value don't actually make you fulfilled. You can't sustain other people's value. Your friends value something else, your parents value something else, and you value very different things from them. Moving forward, whenever you want something or want to do something, ask yourself why. Is it to show to others? Am I looking for some external validation? Remember, the external validation is never-ending cycle. It's never going to fulfill you. You will be stuck getting things just to impress others, and that feeling fades away really fast. But if you want to do something simply because you want to do it, then that's it, you found the thing. To get to know about what you value needs distancing from what world is telling you to do, and instead asking your inner self what you truly want. So find your telos, your highest values, and your purpose, because the formula for fulfilling work life is very simple. When you are doing something that makes a difference in other people's lives, serves the greatest number of people, pays you, and matches your highest value, you have the most fulfillment. So how do you find this for yourself? In order to do that, you have to know yourself. But how do you know yourself? Just like how you get to know someone else, by asking questions. Questions like what is most important to you in life, like what you can't give away even if given lot of money, like people in your life, or your qualities like curiosity, creativity, justice, equality, anything that is important to you. Next question is, what would success look like for you even if no one else was watching? This personal definition will be your anchor when facing challenges and uncertainty. Next question is, what are your peak experiences in life? That can be anything like drawing, swimming, playing an instrument, traveling, playing with friends, being in the ocean. You don't have to pick and choose. The events don't particularly have to be grand or Instagram worthy. We are just looking for qualities that made that experience peaceful and enjoyable. Next question is, what energizes and motivates you? This is particularly important when it comes to work, because if you can find something that is related to work that gives you energy, that gives you a pretty reasonable sense of what kind of work you want to do. Next one is, what achievement in the past was truly fulfilling to you? Think about a time in your life when you did something well and it brought you a sense of fulfillment, an achievement that mattered to you. Don't worry about how big or small the achievement might seem to anyone else, but you woke up the next morning and you felt sense of satisfaction about it. What was it? Write as many things as possible that comes to your mind. Next question is, what do you dislike or avoid? This gives a direction we don't want to go towards. What did I love to do when I was a child? Childhood stores our core values, because at that age we are only living for ourselves. Next question is, what activities bring you in a state of flow where you fully immersed in the act of doing? Next one is, what you want to do even if you fail. For me, it's creating these type of videos to help at least one person to find a meaningful direction in his life. Next question is, what do you love studying, learning and researching about? We hate studying, but when it comes to certain subjects, we can't seem to stop our curiosity. So what are those? Next one is, where are you most organized? We don't care about organization where we don't put any value. Next one is, if I were literally forced to be active, if money or time or current responsibilities were not an issue at all, what work would I choose? What inspires you, or who inspires you? What qualities in people inspires you? What specifically you envy in others? Next question is, what gifts do you have that you can give to this world? Meaning is in finding your gift, and your purpose is to give it away to the world. What problem in the world would I pick to start solving? Many people approach life like, what can I get from the world? But our values give rise to a very different attitude. They help us to look at what we want to actively contribute to the world. Next one is, what monetizable skills do I have? How can you add value in this world using them? The last one is, what you are good at? What are your strengths according to you, according to your friends, parents, teachers, or people that you know? Also, take a strength test online. You are naturally much better at some things than others. You have innate strengths that make certain tasks feel less like work and more like play. And it's easier to build a career around these things. In order to do that, you have to create some distance from what world is advertising and constantly telling you to want. Reconnect with your inner self and your own desires. Meditation and mindfulness practices brings you closer to yourself and away from all the noises around you. While answering these questions, you may start to envision your future. Maybe you will start to get some hints for where you want to take your life from here. Even if not, then don't worry, I have created this prompt using which I have found my core values, which are personal growth, freedom, creativity and expression, connection, curiosity, and resilience. Also, after knowing my strengths, I use them in this prompt, which help me find multiple future timelines that I can choose. Here is the prompt. I am answering a series of questions about my skills, strengths, interests, values, and experiences. Based on my answers, give list of my top 5 to 7 core values and provide a detailed list of potential activities, hobbies, side hustles that I can engage in, as well as a comprehensive range of career paths that I can pursue. Highlight options that align with my strengths, passions, and life goals, and suggest unconventional or creative opportunities that I might not have considered. Now paste the questions with your answers below the prompt. Put this prompt into your favorite AI chatbot. Don't worry, I have created this PDF with the prompt, including some extra questions that I didn't mention in this video because it was making this video way longer than it already is. PDF is also in the description. Just copy the text and edit it with answers. This prompt with questions will help you envision multiple alternate future timelines. You will have prototypes of several potential lives. Look into them, try them out, and see what really resonates with you. See which life is more attractive and exciting for you. Realize that now you have many versions of your life and they are all right. You can choose anything. It's your own single life. This will help you live into whatever version of you that you imagine becoming. Choose what excites you. Share this video with your homies and siblings who are also struggling to find a meaningful direction in their life, because all these questions help me find a path that is exciting to me, a goal that's worth the effort for me. This process also helped me decide to make this video and help people like you who are in search of meaning in life right now. This time when I decided to create this YouTube channel, I was excited about the actual work instead of any superficial goal. I started waking up with excitement and urgency. I couldn't sleep because I had too many ideas going through my mind, and as a result, I feel motivated again. And I want to do the extra work here. And I even forgot to eat multiple times. And this feeling is so great that I want you to also feel it. There is something out there that will wake you up with the same fire. A purpose that doesn't need any external motivation, because the joy is in the journey itself. I want you to find something that wakes you up with excitement, and when you will do that, join me on my journey. And I don't know how many people are going to watch this video, but I believe in the path I have chosen, and I want to impact at least one life. This is just my first video. Click subscribe because I am going to talk about a lot of stuff that I learned that can help many people and actually change their lives. So now that you have learned about mimetic desires, pleasure versus fulfillment, and meaning and stuff, you are wondering,
well, what do you do with this information?
So step 1, know thyself. Find what you value, your strengths, with self-exploration questions, and think about the answers deeply. This might take some time, and that is okay. Step number 2, explore and experiment. Try different paths which are suitable and exciting for you from the prompt that I have given. Explore hobbies and activities if you are doing okay financially. Side hustles if you have extra time and want to explore something. Volunteer work if you want to find like-minded people. And career path if you have no idea what to choose. You can also use this to pivot to a career that is more exciting to you and which is more aligned with your values. Step 3, prioritization. Use your values as a North Star, taking you towards a fulfilling life, and reduce your circumstantial suffering. After finding your direction, action, ask these two questions. 1. What small action today will bring me closer to meaning? And 2. Am I doing what truly matters to me? This process will set you on a path where in few years you will look back at your life and you will say. Also, don't forget to build contentment alongside. Contentment will be your emotional anchor during highs and lows of your life. But how do I know, Atharva, if I am following my own dream or somebody else's? Well, listen to your own emotions. If achieving your goal feels hollow or the journey itself feels draining and uninspiring, it might not be your path. True desires ignite curiosity, joy, satisfaction, and even fear of unknown. During and after work activity, it shouldn't feel empty. Also, when you find something worth pursuing, ask yourself this uncomfortable question. Would I still do this if success took longer than I expect? When you choose a path, try imagining letting the dream go, abandoning it. If you feel relief, it might not be your path. Meaning and purpose are not out there. They are more often something we shape and create over time through what we choose to care about. Future is always a challenge. And the moral thing to do is to have high faith and courage in the future, regardless of what you know.
I'm that kind of person. I'm like, whatever it is, just gonna figure it out.
We're gonna
We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. This is gonna happen. How? I don't know.
Till then,